There we go. So now that I can do that, I can... Oh boy. I should be able to at least kind of sort of see where I put that last... Wait a minute. It's over here. Let me just put this somewhere. And everything else should be down here. Is there any room for one of these things? Looks like there is somewhere. I guess I put it on this landing. Can we get away with that? Apparently, yes. Yeah, here it is. And everything's going into immediate operation. As soon as this miner starts drilling, it will lift strange alien matter up. Yeah, here it comes. And it'll be put into this constructor, which will make it into reanimated strange alien matter. Now that's gonna take a bit of doing to get it out of the cave, but when it does come out, it'll be routed here to the converter, which will take it at, well, 60% capacity. So it, I'm not sure whether converters use 60% of the power when operating at 60% of the capacity. And the same goes for this particle accelerator, which is operating at 30% capacity. Is it really going to need all 1,500 megawatts to run at such a low capacity? I'm not really sure. At 6 a minute, though, this whole thing is only producing 6 dark matter crystals a minute, though, which is steady, but at the same time, I might need to this whole thing is being as running like endlessly. I mean, right now the constructor and the miner, they're like what, 20 megawatts? Yeah, that's peanuts. Oh, it does work that way. 203.6. Okay. So now I'm going to round up to 225 megawatts. Of course, this whole thing's rounding in the first place, but never mind. And there's the particle accelerator. 305.4. That's also good news. So 305 plus 225, which again is rounded, is 525. That's really all. As difficult as this is to believe of a particle accelerator. Now it's making 6 a minute, which means it should have 360 after an hour. 1,000 after somewhere between 2 and 3 hours, more like 3. So once again, I have some time to, well, more or less burn here, but one thing that I've been, well, a little too preoccupied to think about right now, until this minute, is the biochemical sculptors. How are they doing? So let me just get back to the aluminum factory. I know I'm going to need more casings for the blender. Oh yeah, for the blender that makes fused modular frames. This thing's going at a good clip. Take all of them like right now. Then I just ought to restock on reinforced iron plates, but I'll check to see just how close to finish those biochemical sculptors are. Well, blow me down. That's 1,004. But it's enough. So, well, the first thing I gotta do after I shut this off is go to the space elevator, turn these in. If it's enough, then I'll just sell the rest of them, the other 4. And then I'll just have to deconstruct that one little factory I had for making them. After all, it was only there because to make biochemical sculptors. And since I have enough biochemical sculptors, and I can't think of anything else that needs a blender and is and water as well, and I need it immediately, I'll have to take that down, and that includes the Summers loops. Oh wait, there, that's all of them. So the first part of the last phase is officially finished. Because of that, well, among other things, I now have 4 more Summers loops that I didn't have before. Oh, you know what else? Another hard drive is finished. Well, both of these I don't really need. I've already got a good enough reinforced iron plating, and fused quartz crystals. Well, I've got a good way of producing quartz that doesn't involve. Ah, hello. A better supercomputer. I'll take it. The only problem is that it requires, well, it doesn't require regular computers. It does require things that use them. Radio controllers. There we go. Okay. That's the last hard drive. So what I ought to do is, now that I'm finished using that blender, and I'm pretty sure that I'm never going to be able to use a blender to make, again, maybe I can't be too sure about that. I mean, there's this other part, I don't know what it is, but for all I know, it does need a blender. So I guess this isn't ready to be put out to pasture just yet. Clean back here because I need the okay, this 300.7. That's how much power it consumed. And the dark matter crystal factory, well, the thing about that is I'm trying to find out a way to, I guess you could say yeah, well, overclock it is the right term, but I guess it'd be better to say that I want to clock it enough to so it isn't really dragging its feet with wow, Aurora Borealis. I think I actually saw that once, even though I live what is considered too far south to see Aurora Borealis. It was still there, and that's what it looked like. Well, not quite. It wasn't quite as colorful, but that didn't make it any less there. Alright. So I'm pretty sure these biochemical sculptors, the 4 that I have left, can be sold. I'm kind of curious how much for. Okay, that I think was like, I'm still not sure just how much it, but I'll print these out. Just for the sake of having them. Guess there were too few to tell. So I'm gonna stick another alien. Wait a minute. Can I afford it? I know I'm saying that a lot, but okay, I can't unless I can scare up 10 computers. And that depends on how many have already been used to make supercomputers. And that depends on how long it took to build that dark matter crystal factory. Okay. So I will, let me see, 6 and 6, wait. Put this pile on top of that pile, and that should produce, there we go, alright. many supercomputers do I have anyway? 236 more. So, or wait, 136 more. So, what does that mean here? How many supercomputers do I have already? 106. And this makes 206. So if I have 50 here, all I need is 8 more. 7 more. I'm out of plastic. Wait, no. I'm not out of plastic. It's just taking some time to load some up. So, 7 computers. Six computers. How many computers did I put in here? I don't think I bothered counting because of how many computers. Okay, that's the whole thing right there. All right. I'm going to ignore the fact that it just dumped off my the 10 I need, but then again, I don't really need to count out 10, do I? So I need 6 more. After this, I'll need 5 more, and that's 20. Round that up to. Wait a second. I'm just shrewd enough about this. There we go. All right. So that should make the 5 more computers that I need to have 256 computers. And well, having 256 computers, I'll be able to keep up the at 256 supercomputers. I'll be able to keep up the whole thing with. With the neuro quantum thingamajigs, whatever they're called. So this here should be a good enough site for another alien power augmenter. Connect that to the rest of the grid there. And as the strength of also sparks Zarathustra ring out across the land. Okay, let's see. That's why this is going up, but it's because the geyser that I've got going. So I'd say around 13 gigawatts, and shouldn't have any more than 7 gigawatts being used here. So yeah, that worked out. I mean, yeah, it could be that I'm overcorrecting a little here, but it's better to not to have power and not need it than not have it need it. And come to think of it, while I was setting this up, I just need one last supercomputer. Now, I may need more supercomputers later on, but I suppose when that happens, or should it happen, I can just can just start this plant back up. So with that said, I'm going to start the, research finished. Anyway, I'm going to start the quantum encoder back up again to make neuro things. Doing well today. I can never remember what these things are called. Okay, so deposit this just for the sake of having it there. And take all the supercomputers I've got and put them in here. Everything else should be fine. Fixite trigon, excited photonic matter, time crystals, everything. Yeah, I think that beam still gives me the chills. But after, oh, how many of these are there? 256 divided by 3, that's 215. Oh, alright, I'll round up to the nearest multiple of 3. That's 80. 86 minutes. In 86 minutes, okay, so 86. What's 86 times 6, though? 86 times 6. I'm trying to figure out how many dark matter crystals will be finished at that time for the dark matter factory. 6 times 6 is, I'll back it up a bit, 43 times 12, which is 129 times 4, which is 258 times 2, which is like not enough. It's like 500 and something. So what I'm gonna have to do is go to the factory and, well, ramp up the clock rate. It's either that or use a Summers loop. Although then again, I need Summers loops. I could probably go looking for them. Wait a second, what do we have here? Dark matter trap. You know what, I'll have that. So what's the difference then? Okay, so it uses half the dark matter residue to make twice the amount of crystals. I may be able to make some use of this, especially since I don't need that many dark matter time crystals to use in neuro quantum, well, jury pokery. If it takes 1 time crystal per 2 dark matter, and I want to make like 1,000 of them, I would need 500 time crystals. But I really should have enough. Of course, it does mean another trip down to Presbyterium and then across to the Department of Alien Research and Knowledge. Kill any of these is the amount of radio control units. I've been kind of avoiding thinking about that, but I really do need those. Of course, ENIAC has been going on this whole time, putting out computers, so I shouldn't complain too hard. But I've calculated that I need a little over more than 2,000 dark matter crystals. Of those 2,000, 700 and some, I think 750 are going to be produced at the end of all this, of the current work order for the quantum encoder. I've been making time crystals all this time. Yeah, I know what that sounds like. Perhaps? Oh yeah. I got plenty of these things. More than enough for the future amount of dark matter. So with that in mind, I'm going to go over to the dark matter factory and rejigger it a little to use this new formula for dark matter crystals. I mean, since dark matter residue is a byproduct and the dark matter crystals are a byproduct of a byproduct, I'm not going to change the formula for the residue that's output by the quantum encoder. But that other factory is a factory expressly for you making dark matter crystals. And that's why I'm changing that formula. Did I have any? No. Okay. Yeah, that was the last hard drive. So I'll be over at the dark matter factory, reconfiguring it for the new dark matter crystal formula.